And welcome to the PBS 2009 logo Deathwatch podcast covering the week of November 11, 2019. We'll be spending most of the show discussing the changes from last week and the surprise last-second program swap that allowed me to include one of the missing national shows on this podcast for once, among other surprises. Hello, I'm Matt Frola, and I'll be your host for the next 5 to 10 minutes on the PBS 2009 logo Deathwatch. Later on, we'll be discussing ways that can help me gather data for future editions of this podcast. For example, if programs are preempted for pledge season, or if the Friday edition of Eye-Gore Edwards Company gets preempted for a concert program on the last Friday of the month. As happens on my station. A lot of information for you, you'll want to stay tuned. First off, the 2019 opening logo is now in most of those programs, though it wasn't last week. Those programs included Antiques Roadshow, Frontline, and Light from Above. It's still not on these programs, however. Olsen City Limits, PBS NewsHour Weekend, and PBS NewsHour. That's right, a PBS program has switched over from the 2009 logo to the 2019 logo, and midweek even. The only two times I can remember something like that happening was in 1996 and 1998, and both times it was what would later become known as PBS NewsHour. Specifically, the 1992 logo was on the September 2, September 3, and September 4 editions in 1996, and then the September 5 and September 6 editions had the 1996 logo. Likewise, the 1996 logo appeared on the September 28, September 29, and September 30 editions in 1998. And then the 1998 logo turned up on the October 1 and October 2 editions. And you know what's crazy? All 3 times the logo switch took place on a Thursday! Can you believe it? On the topic of surprises, I was expecting, and my station's schedule clearly said, that Jim Henson, in his own words, will be shown at 6 p.m. last Sunday, but for some reason, someone at the station decided to transmit the Series 4 finale of the Great British Baking Show at that time instead. Like Olsen City Limits, PBS NewsHour Weekend, and PBS NewsHour, this one had the 2019 logo, but not the corresponding opening logo. All the other news shows I promised I would cover in this week's podcast, American Experience, The Warrior Tradition, My Music, A Classic Christmas, Prince Charles at 70, and Sesame Street's 50th anniversary celebration, all had the 2019 opening and closing logos, the latter of which I at least expected coming into the week. In the meantime, Eye-Gore Company, BBC World News, Washington Week, Firing Line, Motor Week, and To the Contrary all had yet to change over at the end of the week, and the syndicated PBS programs Martha Stewart's Cooking School and Barnegie Hall still had the 2009 logo as well. And now, an appeal to those watching. Next week, that is, the week of November 25, 2019, Eye-Gore Company won't be showing that Friday due to the local concert special being shown at that time. Also, pledge season starts on Thursday, November 28, 2019, and I'll let you know when it ends as soon as I have more information on that. Due to pledge programming preempting primetime on weekdays and most weekend programming, I will not be able to acquire any details whatever on several of the affected programs without your help. Apart from Eye-Gore Company, such programs include This Old House, Ask This Old House, and To the Contrary. The This Old House Hour, at least, is retransmitted on my station every week late Friday nights, and I can always go to PBS Online for complete broadcast programs of Motor Week, including any PBS logos that appear there. I will let you know of any other programs I will need help with if I can find more information on this issue. That's all for this edition of the PBS 2009 logo Deathwatch. Next week, we're going to look at, possibly among other things, an American Masters special, and an exclusive look at Her Majesty's Secret Service. One that squares with the Official Secrets Act, of course. For now, this is Mac Frola, the Photomac wannabe who came to this earth 40 years too late to get the job, wishing you all, in the words of the great Bob Ross, happy painting and God bless.